Zach, did you get much feedback on your 53? Was people giving you a hard time?
People taking a dump on it?
No, honestly, most of it was
pretty positive.
They liked what I was trying to do. Now the Cowboys aren't gonna, they're do the complete opposite. Like Jalen Tolbert's not going anywhere. He's gonna be here. Mazi doesn't sound like he's going anywhere. He's gonna be here. Sure. But no, I think the majority of it was positive.
Yeah, well, good for you. I mean, this time of year though, you're just giving your best guess.
Tried to do some fun stuff like with Shoddy saying like surprise who's on, who's off.
I had this question posed to me today before we do this. And you guys give me the answer. You know how I'm sure you guys have all got me muted on Twitter.
Yeah,
I don't
100% for a while now.
I don't blame you. No, seriously, I don't blame the people I work with. I don't blame you at all.
I like going with the mute and block just to like make sure.
That's cool. That's
double
cool
layer
too.
protection.
Double layer protection. I had somebody ask me a question and I gave the answer in a way that they're still talking about it. Like I gave, like, this guy asked me a question and it happened to be about Houston, the edge rusher. And I said, well, this is what's going on right now. They're talking about him. They're talking, so a guy tweeted back at me and says, he didn't ask that. He asked your opinion of what they were going to do. And I replied in a way of like, wouldn't you rather me call somebody and find out and be accurate instead of guess and then have it make news and it not be right?
Yeah, I see it here. It's like, Brian, do you think James Houston makes this team? You said, I believe they're working through that now. Can't say yes or no. And then another guy jumped in and said he didn't ask for you to do that. He wants you to make a guess. That's what he's asking.
Yeah.
And you said, how about I give the answer I was told from the folks making the call instead of a guess?
Yeah.
So he wanted you to just give your best guess. Does Houston make the team?
See, I don't.
And you were like, well, I'm not going to guess. They're still trying to figure it out.
I feel like we just did this dance about 15 minutes ago, Brian.
Did we?
Yeah.
Which on what?
Where I asked you, will this defense be better against the run?
Yeah.
And you said, well, that's their plan, and it can work.
Yeah.
I wanted to know from you, is Brian Broaddus, former NFL scout, this is where like maybe you're diminishing the power of your opinion. We want to know what you think is going to happen.
I honestly think that, to me, I always try and be like honest about like what I think they might do. If I have the ability, and I have the ability to talk to Matt Eberflus, and he tells me this is what we're going to have to do. We're not big enough up front. We're going to have to play slant front. We're going to have to play on the move. We're going to have to have linebacker fits. We can't play, we're maybe going to have to play some zone coverage. I would rather tell you what, and it's not me trying to skirt around it. I would rather come from the angle of this is what I think their plan, or this is what their plan is. If I could ask Will McClay about a draft pick, or I could ask Will McClay about a signing, or I could ask somebody in the organization, isn't that more valuable to you than my guess? That's what I'm.
Yeah, trying to.
I think we ultimately want both, because you're a dual threat here. You can give us what they're planning, and then you could say, but I think that plan kind of sucks.
Well, that's that. But to me, we could always say the plan to have Mazi Smith here.
Yeah,
it sucks. That way sucks.
It's time to realize he's not good, cut your losses, and move on.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Brian. If you were at a newspaper, would you rather be the beat reporter or the columnist?
I would rather be the beat reporter.
That would match up with the way you want to report the game. But
yeah, because
whose check would you rather have?
The columnist.
No, but to me, like,
because there's more demand for the opinion.
I would rather, like, if somebody asked me a question about the team, I would rather be able to give them an answer that I think I'm more important to people, my sources, than I am giving my opinion. Because I gave my opinion. My opinion got me to working with radio with you guys. Because my opinion was, we need to sign this guy. We need to sign this guy. We need to sign this guy. And a guy didn't like my opinion. But I have the ability to be able to reach out to people and say, hey, this is what your team, tell me what you're thinking here. So to me, I would think that if somebody was telling me what they're thinking, that would be more important than somebody who, because people say, well, you're a failed scout, you're this, that. Well, but no, I have the ability to reach out to people. And
you've built the Rolodex.
Yeah. I mean, when I talk about, we're going to talk about the Philadelphia's offense and defense, that's my opinion. Like who should they attack? That's my opinion. Do they do it all the time? No. Like, hey, they should move Micah Parsons around because this left tackle's not any good. Do they do that? No. So to me, I just kind of I've gotten to the point now where I want to be able to say, hey, I talked to so-and-so and just kind of present it that way. And if I feel like that it's an effed up way, I could say that though too.
We would love that.
Yeah.
Or if hey, I think this is awesome. This is going to be sweet.
This is what they're going to do, and I think it's brilliant. Or I think it's dumb. But that's the difference in working in a building and working for the team at the .com and the radio. Because on the radio, the far bigger commodity is the opinion.
See, the thing about it is though, but in the .com, he let me fire coaches and talk about that. Not the 8 years I worked there, never one time. He like I told you, he told me you're kicking my ass. That's the only time they ever said anything to me about my opinion or my evaluation.
Didn't you just say though your opinions is what got you here because people didn't like it?
In scouting, it got me fired. It got me fired.
Yeah. Okay.
My opinion on players. You can't say that. That's the issue I have. But anyway.
But if it had been on Hard Knocks, you would have been everybody's favorite scout. You're the opinionated guy who's telling it like it is. Maybe as a front office, you don't value that, but as a content consumer,
I want people when they use me, when they talk to me, I want them to know exactly what the team is doing.
That you're giving correct information.
I'm giving correct information because I think in the media, how about this opinion? We suck.
Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation.
We suck covering this team. We suck covering a lot of things. We really do. Because we don't take the time to try and be right about it. We really don't. And we throw a lot of opinions out there that mislead people.
I respect that.
That's my biggest problem is we're not very good at this as a media.
And why is that?
It's because we don't care. We don't care to do what it takes to get the right information. We don't go and try and find the right information.
And then why is that? Because the audience
You're lazy.
Because the audience doesn't want it.
No, the audience, I think the audience wants us to be able to, they want to know, they're going to say, okay, this is what my team is doing. And then I do have the ability to say, but I wouldn't do that.
And then somebody has to be rooted in fact.
But like I said, to me, I just feel like that as a whole, as media, we don't do it right for our audience. We don't try and get the right information. We're quick to give an opinion about something that's not factual. And then people take our opinion and as fact. And I think that's a problem. I think as a media as a whole covering this thing, and here I'm killing all the time. Sorry about this. I think that we're really, really lazy. I don't think we give it any thought. We're just quick to throw something out. Oh, Mazi sucks. Okay. Yeah. But obviously they don't think Mazi sucks. Right? So why do they think Mazi not sucks? Isn't that more important to you than Mazi sucks? See, that's the thing. It
would be interesting to know why they don't think he sucks.
And that's what I try and get to.
Yeah.
That's what I try and get to. That to me is the most important thing. That my whole thing is trying to educate people on why.
Right.
That's, not just have an opinion. Because everybody could have an opinion, but the problem is people with opinions sometimes are lazy doing this job. That's the biggest problem I have. That, like somebody gives an opinion, I'm like, you didn't think that's not true. Where'd you get that? Why would you say that? And then people take that as gospel, or people take that as like, oh, that's the right way to do it. That's right. That's right. So that to me, like I said, that's the problems that I have. And that's why I wanted to ask you guys. Sure, I don't mind giving my opinion when we ask about the team or ask about like the opponents and stuff. Hey, they need to attack. They need to do this. They need to do that. I am all about that. But like I said, the other stuff, I try and get what's the factual reason why, so.
But you could be the one of one. You're getting the real information, and then you can formulate a...
Do you guys feel like I don't give my opinion enough?
I think you do.
No, I think you do. This is just the one example of
I think you could increase it 20%. Still be loyal to yourself.
You sound like, okay, really say what you're going to say. Don't sugarcoat it. I mean...
No, I think I made it clear in this segment. I think opinions are more
and I
important
respect
than
what you're
facts.
saying. I respect what you're saying, because to me, 20% is that good enough? Is that, should I do more?
Yeah, I think because you do what you do and you're an insider reporter, like the credibility is just oozing out of every pore in your body.
Sure. Yeah, you're not pulling opinions out of your tush.
Yeah. People are leaning in for your info.
I want to be able to, and I'm sorry, the roster thing. I apologize. But I just got it. I got
overtime.
Overtime.
Who's going to be DT4? That's what we want to know.
I tell you what, the problem they're running into right now, in my opinion.
Come on, clarify, baby. Pass ball.
No, in my opinion, though, the problem they're running into is now they got Mazi. Where does Ernest Brown fit in this thing?
And that's a surprise.
That is because if you watch the tape of Ernest Brown and the way he's playing, they use him quite a bit. That might be a very surprise guy that they keep on the roster. And I think they're talking about JT. I think they're talking about Ernest Brown. This whole thing with Winfrey. Like I say, I think Winfrey has made this football team because I think my opinion is I think they're going to have to play a certain way. And talking to the coaches, I think they're going to have to play a certain way as well.
Yeah, I mean, the way you describe the way they want to attack things based on their personnel, Winfrey's got to be a part of it.
Got to be a part of that. But
he can penetrate and get upfield, and he's shown that.
Yeah. So
what's Brown do well?
Brown is one of these guys that plays with a little bit more power. He can be disrupted, but he's not as quick as what Winfrey. The guy who's the defensive tackle here honestly doesn't play with the quickness is with JT, you have, for the guy that size, you do have a quick player, but Mazi doesn't play with the quickness that you'd like to have to play this front. So to me, it's Solomon Thomas, it's Osa, it's Winfrey, and then could be Ernest Brown here. That could be how you play, and maybe Mazi's kind of on the team but out of this. Because
I want to find out about Mazi. Like, why is he on the team? Is it financially?
It's
is
financial.
It we don't want to admit we messed up yet?
The general manager, I don't think, wants to move on from him. That's what I heard.
Because he didn't earn a spot, in my opinion. Other guys played better than him.